Bruce, Hyer and Via Rail seem to be synonymous across northwestern Ontario. You've been fighting for passenger rail service since I can remember, and we still don't have it yet. Bruce, what's next in the process for Via Rail in this fight?
Well, James, I'm really glad you asked. I brought this report. It's called the National Treasure Renewed, a Superior North Shore Action Plan for Via Rail Canada's Canadian Train. It also has implications for Via Rail across Canada. It's almost 100 pages. It's a very thoughtful report. I've been working on it for 2 years with Greg Gormick, a rail consultant who is brilliant and a great researcher. We have a plan to bring Via Rail back to the North Shore, maintain service on the North Line through Long Lac and Armstrong and Sioux Lookout, and connect them in a logical way, which will actually improve service on the North Line because it'll be mixed passengers and freight, which will be very helpful to a lot of people in those remote areas up there. And it also has implications for Via Rail all across Canada. Last winter, a year ago winter, I saved the ocean train from Montreal to Halifax. Lisa Raitt and the Conservatives and CN were going to cut it. I did a rail tour. We got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people out on a whistle tour stop, saved that train. Now we're going to save Via Rail all across Canada. This is doable. I've been meeting with the CEO and other staff at Via Rail. They are listening to our ideas. I believe this is still going to happen. And if re-elected, I guarantee you I am not going to let up on bringing Via Rail back to the North Shore of Lake Superior and through Thunder Bay and on to Winnipeg.
It's just bizarre. I mean, the only rail trains, we have two in Thunder Bay, passenger trains. We have one sitting down at Cam River Park that's rusting away. And then we have the holiday train for CP coming through to raise money for food banks, which is a worthy cause. But people seem to want train transportation, and every other country in the world seems to have a better system than Canada, and Canada was formed on the back of the railway.
It's ironic, isn't it? We're the only developed country in the world that does not, or even developing country in the world that doesn't have a national rail strategy. We desperately need one. I have it here. We will be reintroducing it to the House of Commons. And as you have seen, I do get things through the House of Commons that surprise a lot of people. In the last day of Parliament, Elizabeth and I forced Mr. Harper to accept the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report unanimously in the House. We had him over a barrel, an oil barrel, and we did force him to do that. He didn't want to acknowledge the existence of the TRC report, and we made it happen. So, as you know, I'm a hard worker, and I never give up. I bite till my teeth meet. You know, I can be tough, but I also know how to work across party lines, and I do. And so I skillfully use dinners, coffee, beer, and single malt scotch with fellow MPs to help persuade them to change their mind on certain subjects and get things done. So I'm looking forward to that. I sure hope I'm reelected. As you know, if I'm not, I go back to flying float planes, taking people fishing and canoeing, and do consulting work in Japan and Europe. But I really hope I'm reelected because we really need more Green seats in the House of Commons. It's going to be a Liberal minority government, pretty clear, unless some dramatic things happens in the next 6 days. And the problem with Liberals is they say pretty things, but you got to force them into it. So in this minority government, the more Green seats we have, the more persuasion we'll have, and we'll make sure that Liberal, Green, possibly also NDP cooperative arrangement actually works.
Bruce, thank you for coming in.
Thank you again.